Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Phil and Rye on Listen Up. Rye, I apologize for the change of scenery, but I do not apologize for the score. Ryan, Big East champs yet again. Final score 78-42. Big East champions all over Georgetown. Ryan, there's a lot of trending posts still coming in. I love to get to a lot of them actually in a lot of our comments. So I will leave this game recap very short. And I know you have some stuff to say before we get into our subs and what's trending all over the place tonight. To start the game out, the Huskies went on 11-0 run, and that 11-0 run turned out to be what concluded to be the championship in the Big East, right? They never looked back. Grace Ann Bennett finished with 12 points. Actually, congratulations to this Georgetown Hoyas team for the first time ever making the Big East final. But again, Ryan, that was a pill to swallow pretty quickly, right? Because for anybody that watched this game, coming out, I had my concerns. I really did because of especially with Aaliyah Edwards out. But man, I don't think that we've ever seen this season, as far as that goes. Ryan, the ball movement was on point. Paige Bueckers hitting all kinds of threes. KK Arnold had a great game. Ashlyn Shade scored 10. Arnold poured in 10. Bueckers with 27. Ice Brady had 13. The fast break points was there. The transition was there. Everything was spot on point. And to get to the point, I don't think that I've ever seen this UConn, you or I or anybody else has ever seen this UConn Huskies team score so fast and put a game away so quickly before halftime. It was really fun to watch. The radio was lit up tonight at Mohegan Sun Arena. I really, to be honest with you, I didn't see. I knew they were going to win the Big East. I had a good feeling as far as Connecticut goes. But Ryan, let me put it to you this way. So, in other words, instead of this quarter by quarter breakdown, because obviously this was a blowout win, let me tell you. Remember in years past, and let me tell you this and everybody else. Remember in years past, just please keep this in mind. Look, you had this team, this UConn. Well, not all the players on this roster now, but this program not too long ago. Some of the same names. They had their struggles against who Big East opponents. All right, I would have really have been a lot more concerned, obviously, with them losing some of these games. They went undefeated this season in the Big East. Not only that, they won the Big East championship. I'm not saying that this is anything new for this program, but let me tell you one thing, Ryan, and everybody else. Please don't forget that what they've had to overcome this season, right? And I say this with full confidence, if you can understand this. I don't think that they can be more prepared than they are right at this second heading into Selection Sunday and whoever they face in that first game.
Yeah, it kind of really does feel like they're playing some of their best basketball right now, which is really hard to believe because they only have seven available players. But like you said, it was kind of to be expected with how, they kind of just ran through the Big East this year. So it would have
Mm-hmm.
been a little concerning if they would have struggled through these three games that they had to win to reach the championship, of course, and win their fourth straight Big East title, number 22 of all time tonight. So pretty incredible stuff there. But yeah, like you said, I don't think UConn really could have started this game any better. Ice Brady already had 7 points. The first she scored the first seven of UConn's 11. Part of that 11-0 run that they started the game on, and ended the quarter on a 9-0 run thanks to three straight three-pointers. UConn already up 28-11 at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the first quarter. Great ball movement, like you mentioned as well. Really helped the offense explode today, as well as
Yeah.
UConn just not being able to miss from deep. It seemed like shot 42%, I believe, finishing the game from downtown. So that's really good to see. Hopefully, we
Yeah.
see a lot more of those through this March Madness tournament, a lot more threes. They also made 4 straight 3-pointers in the second quarter. And Georgetown, they did gain a little bit of momentum there at the end of the first half, but UConn
Mhm.
did a really good job coming out into the third quarter, keeping their heads down and not letting Georgetown back into the game. It did get a little more physical there in the third quarter. Paige Bueckers had to put a tissue up her nose for the nosebleed and continued to play through that. So she really has done it all throughout this Big East tournament. And again tonight. Also, most outstanding player of the tournament, so very well deserved for Paige Bueckers. Nika Mule as well reached second all-time in assists for UConn with 9 tonight, and she is just 9 assists away now from the all-time record for most assists in a career for any UConn player. So that's pretty exciting. Hopefully, she does that maybe next game or maybe a couple games from now in the March Madness tournament. But Paige Bueckers, 27 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 blocks tonight. Ice Brady with another really good performance, stepping in for Aaliyah. 13 points, 8 rebounds from her. Good to see Ashlyn and KK playing very solid basketball, 10 points each. And now UConn has a week to rest up and prepare for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. As I look here, I mean, Ryan, and go figure this. I don't know if you're aware of this or not. The first foul called on the Huskies came in the second quarter. The
Yeah.
second quarter. All right. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, to say the least, right? Looking on here, trending, man, this is man, it's so much to get into. Just 21 minutes ago, so much to get into tonight. This is Paige at her best. That's what Gino Ariema said on how Paige Bueckers elevated her game when Aaliyah Edwards went down with the injury. We're going to remember this, Ryan. You know, no matter what happens from here on out, we're going to remember who stepped up the most. Now, the whole team did, but who really put the team on their back when Aaliyah Edwards went down? You know, we're going to remember this. Keep this in mind. I'm asking you this. Keep this in mind for a while, please, and all of our viewers. And we thank every one of you all tonight for watching. And tomorrow, hopefully they catch us tomorrow. Big East champions, Ryan. Man, that sounds sweet. I'm just so grateful and thankful to the universe that I was able to come across a person like that. That's my ride or die. That's my best friend. An emotional Nika Mule opens up about her relationship with Paige Bueckers. And how about Paige, Ryan? How about this? My freshman year, we weren't able to use the term March Madness, and now we are. Paige Bueckers speaks on the growth of women's basketball and the excitement around the national tournament. And it's kind of like a question for you. What would Ryan feel like if he was in that press conference room tonight?
Yeah, I'd probably start tearing up a little bit too because it did get pretty emotional. Yeah, it is kind of sad that it is Nika's last run, and Paige and Nika being so close. Kind of sad to see their last run together through the Big East tournament. But yeah, I like that what Paige said there about couldn't wasn't allowed to call the women's tournament March Madness as well. So, just Paige Bueckers really does do it all. Not only on the court, but we could talk about so many things that she does off the court. Obviously,
Yeah,
helping the women's game expand, become more popular, and so much more positive stuff
yeah,
for the women's game, and not just for UConn basketball. But yeah, a lot of confetti tonight, a lot of smiling faces, which was really good to see. Gino broke out some dance moves. I'm just now seeing. So everybody had it looks like a really good time tonight.
well, Ryan, it comes as no surprise the Big East tournament most outstanding player, and I'll let you guess who that is.
Paige Bueckers.
Paige
Paige
Bueckers, you got
Bueckers.
it right. How about let's go over to our subs for some very quick comments, and then we were head on out and maybe celebrate. Do you have a shot of Jack Daniels up there I can borrow, or do you want to break some out?
We probably do. Yeah.
Let's go over to Jeanette Adams. defense. Jeanette Adams says, at the end of the year, defense wins championships. Yeah. Hey, she brings up a good point. I forgot to mention this to you, how defense, this is arguably the best UConn defense that we've also seen all season, just in this Big East tournament.
Yeah, and we talked about the offense a lot tonight, but it really was the defense, especially last game. And I believe tonight, counting of course, the fourth quarter, all 10 minutes of that last game, and they held Georgetown. I believe, UConn went 19 minutes through those last two games, holding opponents scoreless. So, yeah, it is really good to see the UConn defense really stepping up, and hopefully that continues these next couple games too. Yeah, it
Yeah.
just seems like I said, it's really hard to believe UConn's playing some of their best basketball right now. So hopefully, despite this week off, hopefully they can really carry this momentum.
I love this one. Jason D'Amico, holy shit. Turn on the LSU South Carolina game. Laughing my butt off.
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to catch some of that one during halftime of the UConn game. I kind of expected things to get really spicy, a little crazy in that game. Of course, two really huge SEC rivals. I didn't watch the fight or the little skirmish at the end of that game. I believe all the bench players went to the locker room. Some crazy scenes
Yeah.
for the SEC tournament. That's for sure. I also heard Camila Cardoso could get suspended. So there was a lot of stuff that happened in that SEC title game, but again, South Carolina with an incredible run. But yeah, those two teams definitely went at it yesterday.
This is interesting, and this brings up a lot of good points and a lot of good, they're helping us more than they think because of the off season topics. Ryan, hint, hint for your Austin Anita running the sticks in the background and everybody else that supports us here. I believe next year is Gino's last year. He doesn't have the next program superstar after Paige, so I expect he will follow her out the door. You heard it here first, the disruptive one.
It's not a bad shout, and I think we've heard it a couple of times throughout the 3 years that we've been doing the podcast about possibly Gino going out with Paige Bueckers as she leaves. It would be 40 years for Gino, which is quite a long time. So honestly, I wouldn't really be surprised if he does decide to leave. Of course, like I said, I'm kind of expecting Chris Daly to also leave at the same time as Gino does, since they kind of came in together, I believe the same year together or around the same time. So yeah, Gino's definitely getting up there. 40 years is quite a milestone. But yeah, we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, and a lot of championships to go along with that, right, Ryan? Jason D'Amico also says, Phil, you are correct. We should manage our expectations. Not sure how long this team can play those kinds of minutes before they burn out, especially now that these games are back to back. But holy smokes, but holy smokes, is it fun to watch?
Yeah, it is really fun to watch, but yeah, it's definitely, hopefully UConn uses this week off to really rest up and prepare, but it's definitely not going to be any easier once we do get into March Madness and they have to play, a couple games per week and go through a gauntlet of teams once they get hopefully advanced through the rounds. But yeah, it is really fun to watch. Always love the Big East tournament, the 3 games in a row. Definitely a grind especially when you have 7 and 8 available players on your roster, but definitely for sure, really, really fun to watch.
All right, Ryan, I'll leave you with this. What is your favorite rapper of all time? What's he say? I'll wear my chain proud. It's a trophy. All right. We might have to buy the whole team chains with a Big East. That's what it said. Big East champs around their neck, right? Oh, my final score again. And Jason was right. It was a pleasure to watch. What a weekend it was, Ryan. Final score again 78-42, Connecticut all over Georgetown. And for Alston Anita, we appreciate him a whole lot running the sticks. Phil Becerra, Ryan Brenner saying a very, very good night from Maryland. Big East champions. Ryan, I cannot enjoy the week off. I cannot wait to see you. Hopefully, one more before Selection Sunday. But if not,
Yeah.
I will see you with what color shirt on? With your green shirt on Sunday. Phil and Rye on Listen Up.